Hey folks, Ave Imperator, or for the Orks. Today, I want to talk about Dawn of War 3. I did a stream last week where I played the first few missions of Dawn of War 3, and we talked about it. There were some good things, some bad things. The hate the game deserved on launch is obviously completely undeserved. That doesn't mean that's a 9 out of 10 hidden gem either. It definitely has some glaring issues. However, with that said, this game is probably my favorite interpretation of culture, such as it is, ever, frankly, in any game. I don't care if it's Total War, any of the other Dawn of Wars, I don't care what it is. The way the orcs are portrayed here works exceptionally well on 3 levels. I want to talk about them in detail. Let's get into it right now. The first level is aesthetically. How does this game perceive and portray the orcs aesthetically? The answer is brilliant. Let's go ahead and have a look at something like this Wa Tower here. Right. So these Wa Towers, again, they've been in every single game. The Wa banner goes up. You can recruit more orcs. Your Wa power intensifies. The whole thing works very nicely. However, here they really take it to the next level of selling it. And again, I'm going to talk about the general aesthetic of the orc camp in a second, but I really want to focus on these Wa Towers. Check out what happens when you select Wa in here. The music kicks in. The boys are getting pumped up, right? That Wa Tower's extending all the way to my boys are standing at the top of the screen there. Whoa! We're pumped up. We're going now. Get the boys together. This is so cool. So now, let's go back and have a look at the orc encampment as a whole before we took off from here. So this place, we need a proper camp. Yeah, we need a proper camp. But look at these buildings. Again, the buildings are moving. They're ramshackle. They feel lived in. There's fire and smoke everywhere. Build me a boy's hut.
Right away, boss.
And here it comes. It smashes down on a rock. Yeah? There's random jet engines and pieces, and all that stuff's going to be repurposed because we never waste scraps, do we? Capture the point. Fantastic. Get a generator in there. And even the generator, again, the generator just random smokestacks and jet engines and all this other stuff. No real purpose to it, just there. Looks awesome. Look at this building. Look how great that is. Orc symbols coming up.
Job's done, boss.
This whole thing really feels lived in a way that the Space Marine camps and the Eldari camps fail to. They feel completely sterile and empty. With these orc buildings, you really feel like at any moment a horde is going to pop out of them, right? Like they feel absolutely lived in. They're moving. They're tactile. There's all kinds of details and things to really kind of get in on. And this is not to say the artwork for the Eldari and the Chaos Space Marines, the actual Space Marines, is not beautiful, because it is. However, it doesn't feel vibrant. That Wa Tower, that's a thing. I care about that. That's cool. The Webway Gate, whatever. It's there. I'm going to send some guys to it, I guess. After that, I don't care about it. I want to come back and press that Wa button. And this is exactly my point. The aesthetic here is so great that I actually want to interact with my base. I look forward to pressing the Wa button because it's so cool to press the Wa button. There's nothing like that in either of the other factions' camps. This really feels like, again, whoever was designing the orcs here really wanted to make an awesome orc experience, and this is the one they enjoyed making the most. Obviously, you can feel it. With that joy in mind, let's go ahead and look at the next thing that I felt really sold the orc experience in Dawn of War 3, and that was the gameplay, particularly the gameplay of this boss, Guts. I want to talk about him and his 2 awesome action abilities that he gets right away in the beginning of the game. Check this out. So first up is this claw. Guts has this enormous claw, right, that he uses, and he kind of stomps around on it. And it's as much a prosthetic as it is a weapon for him. This thing, right now, here on this bridge, he's going to actually provide cover from the turrets for his boys by spinning this thing around. Look how good this feels. It feels great. You got your shooter, boys! Total cover. Boom, boom. Here he comes, here he comes. Still spinning this fist. And just wrecking the place, keeping his boys in one piece, dominating everything. Let's talk about the next cool ability he gets. And again, it focuses on this claw that's so awesome. Here it comes. A grappling claw, and up he goes, and in he smashes. Amazing. This is what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Gorguts is just going around, wrecking everything with his awesome claw, leading his boys right in the mix, getting stuck in proper, right? All of the orc characters, again, have an ability that I want to press. Some more or less. I mean, the shooter boys get a grenade, but check out what the boys get. The boys get something great. Of course they do. They're the boys. Okay, here it is. Here it is. One of my favorite things, honestly. Now, you get other abilities like the knobs. The knobs are something cool too, but check out just what the default boys can do. Check this out. I love it. I love everything about it. The sound is so perfect. I absolutely adore this. And again, the shooter boys, as you saw right there, just getting stuck in, throwing grenades. That's great. But the whole thing, again, just shouting. Whoa! That is the joie de vivre of the orcs. That's the reason they exist. That's what they want. That's their joy in life right there. Oh, I love it. Again, these little details for the orcs that just don't exist. There's no reason why the Space Marines couldn't, do a litany. And maybe they do again. Maybe the chaplain does something really cool later. I haven't unlocked the chaplain yet. That's possible with Space Marines. But there just doesn't seem to be that kind of same level of feeling, again, in the gameplay. Because that is the gameplay button. That war thing isn't just aesthetic. It is actually improving their attack characteristics, making them run faster, doing all the other great things that you want a guy to do. But it also has that same aesthetic and sensibility to it that really sells you in on what you're doing. You're stuck in with the boys. Yeah, that's what you're doing. That feels great here. Now, talking about yelling war brings me to the last thing that Dawn of War 3 absolutely nailed. And for that, what we're actually going to do is we're not going to focus on the combat. We're going to focus on, unbelievably, again, for an orc video, we're going to care about the dialogue for real. Listen to this.
It was a bit of bother to get her back to your camp, but here you go. A big gun for Big Boss Git Stomper.
A big gun for Big Boss Git Stomper. He sounds like Santa Claus, Orky Claus. Like, how good is that? Again, this is not the typical way that orcs are portrayed. Orcs typically, even the other Dawn War games, are portrayed literally as incarnations of rage and anger. They're more corn than Santa Claus, right? But not here. Here, again, it's still very orky, but it works. It works so well. Let's watch a little more.
It'll blow away Volok, keep easy.
Easy.
Oh, I misjudge you, Gorguts.
Oh, I misjudge you, Gorguts. That's hilarious. A funny orc? Again, the level of politeness, orc etiquette that these guys are showing each other is genius.
That gun will really help me out. I ain't gonna use it on the keep just yet, though.
Of course.
You
No.
see, I got Eldar raiding me
Oh,
camp,
what's the problem?
trying to kill me. Oh, Eldar, you don't say.
Oh, Eldar, you don't say. What? How good?
Yeah. I don't know why they're invading this world, but Git Stomper will give them that fight they're looking for. I'm gonna knock them dead with this gun. Well, you give them a good duffing for me, Git Stomper.
Well, you give him a good duffin for me, Git Stomper. Hilarious. Like, oh, yes, indeed. Why don't you go along and have a lovely time with your friends? It's so polite. And then again, Gorguts knows exactly what the Eldar are here. Look, he's holding onto a helm. He knows they're here. He knows why they're here. The whole thing is just this farce that is brilliant to watch. The voice acting and the writing gives the orcs more color and personality beyond anything in any game about orcs I've ever seen. You've never seen a side to the orcs like this. Now, is typically given over to other factions, right? This is given over to other factions, and even amongst the greenskins, it's usually the Gobos that get more of this color and is expected to provide explanation and background in a way that is typically not seen outside of, again, the Gobos and other factions. Is never seen here. For the orcs to be doing this one-to-one with each other, having conversations, intelligent conversations, understandable conversations that are not this bravado and posturing and miserable just shouting and screaming. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the miserable shouting and screaming, but sometimes it's wonderful to have the orcs written this way. You know, this is more Skarsnik than it is Grimgore, for, you know, to call it back to fantasy. This stuff is brilliant. And why was this not present in other games? Why is this life and color? Again, the interaction between the Blood Ravens and the Inquisition, very dry, very bland, very just normal run-of-the-mill stuff. And again, the Eldari come in, the Fireseer does the usual, oh, it's grim and doom for the world, and everything hands on knife point, and how are we ever going to solve this problem? The future is complicated. It's the same thing. It's very stereotypical, but this is actual brilliant stuff for orcs. I love it, and I want to see more of it. All right, friends, that's it for this video. I've said the piece I want to say. Again, this game succeeds not because it's a great game, but it really succeeds in delivering an orc experience that, for my money, is unparalleled anywhere else. I really look forward to playing out the rest of this campaign to get the full experience and to understand the full story, because I am absolutely sold. I am Team Gorguts 100% of the way now. Friends, let me know what you thought about Dawn of War 3, about how it portrayed orc culture, and your feelings in general about the setting. Also, tell me how you're feeling about Dawn of War 4, because man, oh man, that is looking like a amazing game, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that later on this year. Exciting times await for us all. Thank you so much for watching the video. As always, the like, the share, the subscribe, much appreciated. Also, I do have a Patreon now. If this video is something you enjoyed and you'd like to see more of it, please do consider subscribing to my Patreon. Friends, as always, you honor me with your presence. Thank you so much, and Ave Imperator.